Welcome to the Twilight Saga podcast. Only on iTunes.
Only on iTunes.
We trained for months.
It was kind of like the Karate Kid. We were painting fences and doing wax on, wax off, and we were like, why are we doing these things? And then all of a sudden, we put it all together.
Yeah, it's like that was David's process with us.
Yeah.
Like, why am I painting right now?
We better be putting this to use in the movie week. We're going to be really annoyed.
I think it's nice. We are all like really a family unit. We all spend a lot of time together on and off set. But it was intense doing like such violent things together, like being in fight training and having to really learn to trust one another, and no one ever really learned to trust me. I was probably the most violent.
No, but truly none of the stunt men would want to rehearse with her at a certain point. And they like to get hit. Those guys, you know, but they were scared of Nikki.
It actually reminded me a little bit like going all the way back to Twilight when y'all came in like a month early, because on New Moon we only had you for like 10 days of shooting, and now in this movie we had you for the entire show, and it was very much pivotal, you know, that you guys show up and work together to battle the newborns.
I remember doing when we did Twilight, we had like baseball camp, and we were doing like, and so this was like camp again. We got to like work together, fighting camp.
Yeah, I remember you doing all that stuff, and me watching like, and just watching you getting really out of breath as I was watching you. You know, so
how was that from your chair?
It made me exhausted.
But I think he'd be eating sandwiches, going, "Try that one again."
No, you know, and you know, so a lot of directors are those guys who, you know, they get in the harnesses to show the actors that they're there with them. And they'll do all of the stunts with them. I'm not that guy. No, I'm just focusing on 100 million
No, but you know,
things.
you did do something. When you had me on that weird dolly chair thing and you were flying me back and forth in this hallway, you were jogging alongside, talking to me. But we didn't have that much time, and so I think you didn't have a choice there.
I was just running. It's funny, the amount of eating I had to do to keep fat. And if you see any photographs of me throughout the production process, I'm eating. And just because I was moving around so much,
you needed the energy.
I mean,
I was losing weight
for 5 months or something.
I was putting on weight faster than when I was a fetus.
It's the weirdest thing. Making these movies is the only time where I actually go up to a director. I think I went up to David a few times and went like, "Are you okay?" But not because you were like expressing that you weren't, but just because I can't imagine being in your position. It's just so insanely overwhelming just watching you. So I always
you had so many different themes running through this movie, and you had to worry about the action stuff, you had to worry about the love triangle, and you had to worry about, you know, the vengeance aspect, you had to worry about the alliances of these two, and it's a bigger cast than I think any movie.
Right.
I mean, the cast that we have between the werewolves, the vampires, the bad vampires, the Volturi, I mean, that puts a lot on your plate.
Yeah, you remember actually when we first met, I kind of met each one of you individually.
Yes.
That's so impressive, and it meant so much to us, all of us.
That's part of the process. It's just like, first of all, knowing what you know, and just trying to see. The thing is because if you did bring it all at once, your head would explode. But you kind of have to break it down into small, manageable pieces. And so part of that was just like meeting each one of you guys and saying, well, you've done 2 films already. Yeah. Tell me everything you know.
Well,
and
what was nice about that,
later
what was nice about that too is that not only did you say, "Tell me what you know about your character, tell me what you're thinking," you also had some really great ideas too,
that we hadn't,
and you kept us on our toes thinking, because you know, when you're doing films like this, you know, you could say, "Hey, I know my character," and get complacent. But that's why I like having different directors, because people, you know, you came in with your ideas, and then you joined forces.
It's the same. I remember talking with you, Elizabeth, and you were like, "Well, how am I going to kill?" I was like, "You go out and you kill mountain lions."
No, that was what made, because you know, Esme has sort of has like this very precious sort of loving, good, maternal, and you were like, "No, she likes to kill people."
Yes,
that's what Carlisle
That's what he said to me too.
The wild side of it.
No, it was just me. It was just me.
I think it's great though that you did that.
It was just you. He didn't ever say. He actually told me to calm down a few times.
No, but it was so great to be reminded of that. I mean, because and then that really comes out in this movie.
So in that process was like, okay, so I get as much information out of you as I can, and then I go and take it back, and I try and figure out, you know, what I may say to you, and then we had repeat meetings. And then when we came in to do like ensemble, we're not discussing your character, we're discussing content.
We didn't have to get lost in other people's.
Yeah, and I thought that's why we do that.